Everybody, what's up, everyone, and welcome to episode number 126 of the Unknown Games Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian, and as always, I'm joined by my extreme co-host, Alex.
Why am I extreme?
You can figure out what you're extreme in. It can be anything you want. Extreme sports. You can be an extreme tennis player. That's sports as well, but you can be an extreme
tennis player. Yeah, you play with just hand grenades instead of
You can be an
extreme,
like an extreme singer.
Sure.
Anything's possible. I learned that.
Perfect.
There we go. Well, we're a show that's not even about sports or anything, but we're about video games, specifically, games from here in Japan where we live, or just games in general. It can even be a board game. We don't really play board games, but sometimes, maybe, we do. I think you dabble in them every once in a while.
Yeah, like once a year, maybe. I've been doing more card games than I have been doing, not like trading card games, but like stuff like Joking Hazard and Cards Against Humanity, like those super simple party games, that kind of stuff.
Oh, those are always, party games are always fun. And I know, like, we used to play a little bit of Pokemon back in the, I would say back in the day.
The TCG?
Yeah, that was fun, though.
If you
I actually really enjoyed
that. They're about to not relaunch, but they're going to do a new service for Pokemon trading card games. So right now in English-speaking regions, there's Pokemon trading card game online. You can get it for the iPad, and mobile devices and the PC, but they're going to launch a new version for those platforms. I think it's called Pokemon Trading Card Game Live or something like that, but I'm looking forward to that. It looks really fun.
That'll be good. More Pokemon. I'm really enjoying the Pokemon universe world with my Pokemon Unite. One day I'll get into some more that real hardcore Pokemon, one day.
What's hardcore Pokemon?
It's just when you just live Pokemon, you breathe it. You don't do anything but just Pokedex yourself.
When you like go outside and just capture actual like animals.
Exactly.
I think it's illegal.
Oh, you said capture actual animals. Yes, there is probably some illegal.
Yeah, I was like, I want that human and that human, and you're just catching them. You have a
definitely
bunch of
don't catch humans.
Yeah.
That's definitely not right.
And then you put them in a container and ship them across. No, that's
Oh my goodness. All right, hey everyone. Before we're canceled, knocked off YouTube or anything else.
And I'm actually arrested. Yeah.
Yo, thanks for joining us. We're here on YouTube Live right now, and if you are listening via your phone in terms of like podcasting service, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all those wonderful places, go ahead, feel free, leave us a review, 5 stars or more, because we're worth more than that. And so I was like, you can't do that. And then, of course, subscribe to the podcast. And you can also subscribe on YouTube. That's right. We hit 100 followers and we're looking for more. You can be the next. Join.
Yeah. We have 100 subs on YouTube now, but not on Twitch, sadly.
Twitch subscribers. Yes, that's very different.
Yeah.
Darn followers and subscribers. They always get me confounded. But today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. Number one, last week's announcement, towards the end of last week, the announcement of the new PlayStation Plus tiers. I think a lot of people have already kind of covered that, but we'll give our little take on it. Plus, Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers Edition is coming out. By the time you listen to this podcast, well, it's actually going to be out on the 7th of April. So hopefully a lot of you are already playing it and enjoying it and can kind of chime in, leave some comments and feedback on our Twitter. There we go. Jeez Louise. And also, we'll be talking about a little bit of what we've been playing. So it's a nice show. Nothing too crazy. And finally, follow us on Twitter for some reason, in terms of we're on Twitter Spaces right now. If you're listening.
Yeah, I actually don't know how this sounds. Like, I can't hear myself.
I really don't know.
Because,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've turned it off. I don't even know how I sound. I hope my mic doesn't die halfway through this.
I think my mic is picking up stuff that shouldn't be picked up, like keyboard mouse clicks and that kind of stuff. I'm paranoid, honestly, because I can't even hear myself on Twitter.
That is why you should actually be listening or watching on the YouTube, people. It's the best place. Unknown Games Podcast on YouTube. This is what this is actually about. It's a promotion for the other thing.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, before we get into finally everything, we both stream on Twitch, and that's where we play our games. For the most part, for you all. Alex, what are you playing? And where can people find you? Because that's where we're going to go into what we're playing.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So,
like, what the heck? This man was like, you do it differently
that was
every
the
week.
shittiest segue that I've ever heard in my life.
Can you just segue properly, bro?
Yeah, no.
Proper
you can find me at twitch.tv/root24. And I've been playing a lot of Stranger Paradise in the last couple of weeks, but also Powerwash Simulator just because it's a super chill game. That being said, I think I'm done Powerwash until the next patch because I'm literally just done all the jobs in that game. Powerwash is weird because Powerwash started as like a meme kind of game because I was like, oh, what a weird game. Let's play this on stream. It might be fun. And it turned out to just be like a staple. Like it turned out to be a game that I was just playing like often.
You play it it was like literally once a week. Like one yeah, come on now. One stream is like, Final Fantasy or like, like the JRPG, except for the time you were doing Dragon Quest, because that was severe. You needed to finish that game.
It depends on when there's content for Powerwash because it comes in waves, right?
Right.
So I'm done Powerwash like up until the next time they do a content drop. So I don't know when that's gonna be, but they actually do update the game pretty frequently, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah, they do. I didn't know they were updating. I thought it was just like one.
No, the game is still in early access. It's not even like version 1 yet. It's not even like out official. Yeah, no, it's still in early access.
What more do they have to? What more do they need to do?
So if you look at, you don't own the game or anything, so you don't see the dev notes that they post, but a lot of it is like new jobs and new cosmetics for your Powerwash and tweaks about the store still. Mm-hmm. And multiplayer was one of the huge updates that they added later, post the game going live on Steam.
Right.
So is that kind of stuff. And they're constantly changing behind under the hood, like how the game is played. So in the last couple devlogs that they posted is they're addressing people that got motion sick during the game.
You can get motion, like, is it like for VR or something?
No, just for like people that easily get motion sick. So they're addressing some of their player base that get motion sick. So one of the features they're adding in a future update is it's called like what is it? Like view lock. So when you play a first person game, a first person shooter, your camera is your cursor, right? Your reticle is your camera. So as you like move your mouse, you move where you're aiming and the whole screen will move. So this is called like view lock or something, where you're locked in place, your view is locked, but your mouse will now only control the reticle where you're aiming. So your camera isn't swinging anymore. You're just moving like the Powerwash, the wand at that point. So that's a feature they're adding to address people that get easily motion sick.
That's nice. I mean, I've seen other people play Powerwash Simulator, and it's been like every time they play it, I think about you, and I'm like, oh snap, this is a game I wouldn't have normally ever have even looked at, paid attention to, unless you played it. And then after watching you play, it's always a chill thing to just have in the background, just to watch or kind of listen to you play it or whatever. And there's nothing really happening, but it's just a great little
cleaning. Yeah,
but it's like
cleaning. It's really satisfying in a weird way to like clean dirt. Initially the couple of changes they added to address motion sickness was a wider FOV, and originally when you were like power washing, your reticle would slowly disappear and you would just it was just water, but people got like easily motion sick that way, so they made it so the reticle always stays on screen, so you can focus on that dot and your brain kind of turns off all the other like movement that's on screen, and you can not get so sick as easily. Like for example, how figure skaters spin a lot,
right?
So like what you do when you to not get sick when you're spinning is to like visualize a dot in front of you, and you're focusing on that dot.
You just focus on the dot, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of like what this is, right? They have that dot on screen at all times. You can just like focus on that.
Oh, okay. It's I've got it up on the screen right now. And
me playing it.
Yeah, just playing Powerwash Simulator. And I unfortunately I think you finished whatever this wagon is, like it's done. But so how many? We were going to talk about Strangers of Paradise, but before we get there, how many things are there to clean in this game? You said that they add content updates, but is it just always more items to clean, more places to clean? Because like this is a
It's
whole
always
amusement park. This is a whole amusement park right here.
it's always a mix of jobs and vehicles. So like the earliest jobs, the first job you do is like your van. You're cleaning your own van because you're gonna be a power wash man. So it's a vehicle, and then you do a job, which is like a back garden, and then it's like another vehicle. It's like clean this weird bicycle, and then it's like clean this playground, and it's like, oh, clean this like old timey car. So it kind of alternates between like smaller jobs, and then like bigger spaces. So then the last patch that was like a month ago at this point was a subway station, and then
Jeez Louise, a subway station, like the whole subway.
It was so fucking big.
Jeez.
It took me like 8 hours, I think. Like it was like 4 streams or something.
Jeez, I mean, they made it worth it. I mean, they made it worth it.
It was like the biggest like job ever. It took me 4 streams, I believe, and I streamed for 2 hours at a time, so it was about 8 hours. But it was like a subway station, and then like this that you're seeing on screen now, which is like a wagon kind of thing at an amusement park. And they also had to clean like a helicopter or something, some kind of air vehicle. I can't really remember, but yeah.
I mean, so all these are free updates, right? And
yeah, because it's just early access. You pay for the
access.
game for like that's like $20, I think, and then you're just getting content as the game is getting made. So
that's nice. I mean,
yeah,
like
it's fun. It's just a super easy game. It's perfect for streams for me because people come in and you just chat. You just chat with people.
It's so easy to chat. You don't. I mean, because you don't have to really focus.
There's no like enemies or anything. You're not gonna. There's no timer. There's no enemies. There's no and danger. Like you're not gonna like fail a challenge because it's not like, oh, clean the thing within 10 minutes. There's none of that. It's just like
it's just clean.
You just take your time because a lot of sim games are like that. So I was playing Food Truck Simulator, a demo of Food Truck Simulator. Like
that was weird.
For the Steam like was the indie festival kind of thing, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So I was like, let's play Food Truck Simulator. It sounds fun, and it is fun. It was fun, but it does have the pressure aspect to it because it's like a customer will come and they'll put their order down, and you have like 5 minutes maybe to like put their order together, and then like get out the window.
And make sure you cut the buns.
Cooking Simulator is the same thing. So when you play Cooking Simulator, it's like you come in, you prep your ingredients, then you do dinner service, and then you're literally like working the kitchen of a restaurant, and you're like graded. It's like your soup was shitty, too much salt, and like, okay, damn it. So there's always like a challenge aspect to a lot of these sim games, which is perfectly fine. I mean, it's a video game. Like people want the challenge kind of thing, right?
Right.
But Powerwash is totally just like you can take a million years if you want. No one's gonna care.
They won't, because they'll just be chilling like you're chilling. Y'all be chilling together.
Right.
But I mean, you've also been playing Stranger of Paradise, and that
Final Fantasy Origin, right?
Yeah, is that as chilling? I mean, this is what, your third week playing the game?
Yeah. I mean, I checked out the in-game time. I'm like at 9 hours, 10 hours into the game right now.
Okay.
Most of that has been on stream. Some of it has been off stream, but it's fun, I guess. It's definitely Souls light. I mean, we've already mentioned this before, but if you want a Souls-like game, but you don't like the idea of being, I guess, punished, for making mistakes, then definitely this is Souls light. Like it's very casual friendly, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think the hardest part about it, from what I've seen and from other streamers when I've watched them play it, is just the fact that sometimes there are like you just need to know, like, hey, some enemies will definitely mess you up with one attack.
Yeah. So
like, that's the thing. But you can easily avoid it. You can just back away if you need to, right?
Yeah, and there's no stamina management. So in Souls games, you can't dodge repeatedly. You can't roll repeatedly. You're gonna eventually run out of stamina, right?
Right.
So in this game, you can just dodge as much as you want. No one's like the game won't stop you or anything like that, right?
Which is nice. So, I mean, it like we were kind of talking about last week. It's more closer to an action game that just happens to have a little bit more. I would say less fluidity sometimes with your actions, in terms of you can't just button mash, but to an extent you can button mash. You're not rewarded 100% for button mash.
It's not quite like Ninja Gaiden or anything like that.
Right.
But it's definitely, I guess it's like if Ninja Gaiden, I mean, Ninja Gaiden is also pretty punishing in its own way. So
Yeah, this is I guess it'd be like it's not like Devil May Cry kind of or
it's not quite
Bayonetta
Devil
kind
May
of thing,
Cry.
but
I guess it is kind of closer to Ninja Gaiden if I think about it. But yeah, no, it's fine. So I did die a bunch of times in the last stream just because, well, part of it because I was fighting Flans and you want to be using magic against Flans, but I was too damn lazy to change my class. So I was like, man, I'm gonna brute force it. I don't really give a shit.
dude,
So
yeah.
So there was that, and then the last part. I mean, I fought like a major boss in, like I got to Tiamat, right?
Okay.
Like the wind dragon kind of thing, right? That was by far, this has been the hardest boss fight in the game. It took me like 30-40 minutes to beat the fight.
I mean, it looks cool. I guess that's one of the things this game does do besides like really nice music. It seems like the boss battles are pretty like on par, like are nice, are fun.
Yeah. I mean, some of the other boss fights took me 2 attempts, 3 attempts. Honestly, not bad. Not terrible at all. Like really easy boss fights, I would say. Like 2 attempts, 3 attempts for a game like this, that's not
that's not bad at all. No, that's not discouraging.
But Tiamat took me a bunch of tries, but a lot of the fun, I guess, of these kind of games is just learning the boss fight. So the more you die, the more you see the fight, and the more of the fight you see, the more you learn the fight. And that's where the fun, I think, of these games. I mean, you've been playing Elden Ring and that kind of stuff. Like, you die a lot. It's very normal in the game, right? Yeah,
I died literally 4 hours to one boss.
Yeah, so as you do the fight, as you learn how the boss operates, and you're like, oh, I know what's coming next, or like, oh, like this is how you avoid that attack or something like that. And that's the pleasure in these kind of games. So this for me, this is Tiamat, which was like, I know he starts the fight with a lunge attack, so I can parry that. I know he does 2 strikes after a jump, and you like learn that slowly over time, right?
Right.
If you stand behind him, he'll do a tail whip, and so that took me like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So like I said, you die a lot. It's not like I mean, if you absolutely hate dying, then don't play a Souls game. But this is, I would definitely say, like a Souls light, where it I don't know, it's not copying a Souls game, but it takes inspiration from like how a Souls game works. But it's not quite that.
Yeah, it's I mean, like, here's another good thing about the game is if you ever find yourself in need of like toning down the difficulty, I know you can change it at any point in time. So I think they really want people to kind of experience, as good or bad as the story may be. They know everyone, Final Fantasy fans are, there's a wide breadth of Final Fantasy fans. Some people like the action games, some just like them turn-based, but they all want to like participate in the universe of Final Fantasy, right? So they have like, I think it's called, is it just story mode or something, where it's
where basically it's like combat isn't a challenge. You can just enjoy the story if that's your thing.
And that's nice, I think, because there's a lot of other nice aspects, like we talked about, like the music, and then just going through some of the classic FF environments, just seeing remixed or kind of done in this engine, or in this game, and that's kind of that nostalgia factor. So I appreciate that they did that, and it's not just one difficulty and then a hard difficulty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess we'll check it back in on that next week, because you're gonna play this to the end. I don't think
I'll beat it for sure. I don't know if I'll beat it all on stream, but I'll finish it. Like I'll beat the game. I'm having a good time with it. It's not the best game in the world. I don't think this is going to be my game of the year for 2022, by no means. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game. I think it's a perfectly fun game. So yeah, I'll beat it.
That's all we need is fun games. That's all we need are fun games. And then on my channel, I am. You can follow me at NinjaTrix, NinjaTrix, and I am playing a couple games right now. Still hammering away at Elden Ring, because that game is. I mean, I did get to the halfway point finally. 123 hours later.
That's definitely like worth it for sure. Like their cost per like hour ratio, whatever it is. Yeah,
cost per hour per ratio, however you want to talk about it. I definitely have gotten all of it plus some. But it's been amazing just doing different builds. But I got to the point where I found that halfway point. I slapped the bosses around. It was fun. I didn't think.
Are you like over leveled? Do you think then? Or?
I over leveled, because I went in and I was like, okay, let me do this. I don't think I'm gonna win. That I went in with that mindset, because it's kind of like the the boss you hear about at the beginning of the game kind of deal. Like, okay, this is if this weren't more stuff after this, this would be a final boss. This would be the final boss of the game. But I know there's more after this, so it's not. And I was just like, okay, I mean, you know what? It's 5 minutes left. I'll cut off the stream after this. I just want to try this guy. See, since we're here, man, ran a train on him. Then it ran a train on the next person. I was like, okay, I guess I'm pretty good. I'm in good shape. I guess I can
Could you
continue
like
this game.
consider like not leveling? Like, do you think it ruins the fun of a Souls game if you're too strong?
Yeah, no. I think it's because getting to that point, I died a bunch of times to different things.
So you feel like it's
So I feel like I
fine,
got my death
like
in,
okay.
but I didn't get it in against those two bosses in particular. I mean, but I can see because here's the thing, and I will admit I did use a summons and I did use like the NPC summon as well. So one fight was literally a 3v1, but I could see that his attacks, while they did do a lot of damage to me, my attacks were chipping a crap ton from him as well. But I think that's the beauty of it. And they don't have like you can play this on an easier difficulty, but if you use your summons or if you want to, use magic or something like that, it does make it a little bit more accessible from what I hear. And from what I've played personally, summons, they do aggro the boss. So you are able to kind of like get a couple hits in or
you can like
something.
let your NPCs tank the boss for you then?
Yeah, they can kind of tank a little bit. And it's fun for me because you spend so much time in the world alone that when you get a chance to fight with like, some allies or something or just call a familiar face, for me, it just hypes up the moment. So that's how I've been kind of approaching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna finish. You're gonna like continue to stay on Elden Ring like until you beat it, or you're gonna like take a little break?
Until I beat it.
Are you exclusively streaming Elden Ring or no?
No. I'm this week I finally started in April. I started Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which has been fun. I mean, the game has a great. I wasn't expecting this, but a great character customizer or a creator. Which I found myself making a character I enjoyed. But the game itself is a lot of fun. I'm just gonna like try to find a good place because it is Borderlands.
When did that come out, by the way?
This came out on the 25th, so of March. Right.
Okay.
And it's Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. It's this. If you played the expansion, DLC, the DLC for Borderlands 2. Which was essentially a D&D themed version of Borderlands, but it didn't really go 100% into it. It just was like Tiny Tina narrating a D&D game, and you just happen to face dragons and kind of go over that kind of, that kind of environment, right? But this one is start from finish. You roll your character just like you would in D&D. You make it, you choose the stats, the origin, like the hero story, and all of the weapons, while they are still guns, the pistols for some reason have now turned into bolt rifles, or I don't know what to call them, bolt guns. And then, you have battle axes, swords for your melee attacks. You have spells that you can use. And I think they just did a good job of trying to make you more immersed in the world. And even the overworld, you don't really travel. Borderlands was open world. You just go through areas. But in this case, you actually go on the tabletop and you travel on the tabletop board as your way of getting around.
Okay. This is definitely fun with like people, right? Like friends.
Yeah, I think it's up to 4 players and then 2 players local.
Okay. But you can solo this if you want to, right?
Yeah, you can definitely solo this if you want to. There's no reason to, and I would say it's probably not the hardest game. They do have 2 or 3 different difficulties, so if you want to just kind of chill out and just play a little bit, you can do that. Or if you really wanted to be focused on the elemental damage, taking out the right kind of shields with this gun or that, you can do that as well. But the whole game is narrated while you're playing. I mean, Wanda Sykes, Will Arnett, there's like a couple of more really good voice actors or like talent just in the game.
Like famous people, I guess.
Yeah, like famous people. And I mean, they did it so well. I mean, Ice-T was in Borderlands 3, and it was
Oh
just
yeah, he
funny.
was, wasn't he? Yeah, that's funny.
As that bear, and I was like, what the heck is he doing here? And what's crazy is this game has random encounters on the overworld map, like straight up
Like an RPG kind of thing.
like an RPG random
Hmm.
encounter where you load into the fight, which is really really strange. But it's just another kind of quirk that they have that makes it just makes you feel like you're in an RPG and you're on a tabletop grid. So
I mean, yeah, I heard that it was fun. I just never looked into it. I like never bothered to like look it up. I mean, I had a good time with Borderlands when it was new, like Borderlands the first game back in 20, not even 20. But yeah, like 2009, I guess. You know what I mean? Or something like
09
that.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
2008, something I can't even remember. But before the decade, actually, before the new decade. Oh god, last decade actually. Fuck me.
Jeez,
But
at least no,
yeah.
the last decade.
So I remember being super into it, and then Borderlands 2 came out, and I was super pumped on 2
Hmm.
because I had so much fun with 1. But I think by the time that I was playing 2, I had burnt out on just that formula, like how the game is.
Yeah,
And the game didn't like hook me in the same way that 1 did. For some reason I felt like it was too big, actually.
two
Like it
was
was
really big.
There's like so much open space. There's so much open space that I was like, I mean, because I was soloing most of it. I was playing by myself, and it just wasn't very
Oh,
fun it wasn't fun by yourself.
yeah,
Whereas you're just like, yeah.
I was gonna say two I think added vehicles. I'm not sure if one had
Well,
vehicles.
1 has vehicles too,
Okay,
but
okay, because I didn't
like
play one, but
in
I played
2
two
they
and
become
three.
very necessary. They become necessary in 2 because yeah.
Two is
Um,
I played two 3 times, but
yeah.
all co-op each time.
Yeah. So I was playing 2 by myself, and it's just like this is kind of boring. Like it's huge field, and I'm just driving by myself. Like I'm not really enjoying this. So I kind of dropped off on 2, and then there was the pre-sequel. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then 3 came out. I'm like, oh, whatever. So yeah, I kind of dropped off the series entirely. So
I want to say like most people kind of at one point in time got tired of Borderlands. I would definitely say 3 was it for me. 3 was just because of the writing and just how long. 3 is a long game. 3 had a lot of content, but it's a long like co-op campaign.
and there's still DLC for it, right?
And
Like
there's
it's
still
just
DLC.
making,
Yeah. The DLC was just insanely long. I'm like,
making the
okay.
game like even longer.
And I was just like, okay, I don't need all of that. But this one, it just feels like the pacing is so much better, and it feels like it's more akin to 2, but probably the size of 1. Like in
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think that definitely sounds more appealing to me. And I think for me personally, like I was having the most fun with 1 when I was using broken builds. Actually, like I was thinking about this actually recently, like for like by coincidence. But I remember I was playing 1, and when you got the end game, like super end game loot,
Mhm.
your guns, one of the random, I guess, like benefits on when your SMGs was you can regen ammo.
Oh, it just never ran out.
Yeah, and I got to the point where my ammo regen was so fast that it was regenning faster than I could shoot it. So I like never ran out of ammo. Like it was never a problem. Like I just always had SMG ammo.
That is
And
like
yeah.
yeah. That I mean, but no, that's exactly it. That's like so early in the game. We're only like maybe an hour into the game, kind of into the first stage. Like I said, the humor is amazing, but we haven't. Unlike 2, like 2, we found these legendary guns like off the jump. I'm talking like we went out and killed some normal slag, like the dogs or whatever of the game. Like yeah, and they just dropped some legendaries, and they kept dropping legendaries at one point, and we're like, are we supposed to be getting these at this early? And but yeah, I mean, like some of those guns, you just have so much fun with them. And this one, I gotta say, it's toned down at least for where we are now. So it feels like we're going to get much cooler things later on. But for now, it's like okay, you know, this is the start line. Now you get more hype. The chaos comes in with Tiny Tina because she's narrating, the D&D game as you're playing it. So like in this case, she's like, "Oh yeah, like blow up these catapults, or how are you supposed to get over there? Well, jump on the catapult. Well, we just blew it up, and then she just makes it, she makes it reappear again, kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's that kind of humor that's happening 24/7. Lines of dialogue always going around. So
do you find the Borderlands humor funny? 'Cause I think I've personally, like, I found it really funny when I was younger, but now I don't know if it's that funny to me anymore. Do you know what I mean?
There are definitely some good one-liners in this one. I think Tiny Tina is just a character that brings out a lot more fun in the game, and just it's like whoever is writing her character, and I know probably the voice actress even chimes in on like things that she would say at this point, just does a good job. So some things might miss, but I found that more things are hitting than missing in this case. But then there's obviously tons of dialogue that just go by you as you're shooting, right? And that's it. But yeah, this is more akin to Borderlands 2 humor. I don't know about 1, but I assume 1 and 2 are very close, and 3 is
close.
just...
Yeah, close. I got tired. I don't know.
3 is
Borderlands,
just...
Borderlands 2, I was just like, I mean, so I'm taking a look on Steam right now. I played for 37 hours.
Yeah.
And I just stopped playing. I have all the DLC for 2 because I was like, I made, I think, 3 attempts to like play through 2. So 1 when it came out, and I thought I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna play Borderlands 2, and then I tried and then couldn't, and then there was like I think it was like a humble bundle. I can't even remember, but I have all the DLC for it now, right?
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, maybe it was a sale. I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna play Borderlands 2, and still didn't even play it. Like I just didn't.
That's Borderlands 1 for me. I have all the DLC, but I just never played it. My friend and I were supposed to play it, never played it.
Well, did you start with 1 and then go to 2, or did you start with 2 and try to go back to 1?
I had 1 at first, and then for maybe almost like a year, I would say, before 2 even came out or something. And then yeah, I started from 2 basically.
Yeah, so I loved 1. Like when it came out, I was super hooked on it. I did like 3 playthroughs, like you can just like loop, like you can
loop,
start a new game with your character. Yeah.
Yep.
I did that. I played so much. I did 2 like playthroughs by myself. I did like 2 to 3 with my friends. I did most of the DLC actually, and then I moved to Japan, and then yeah, I'm gonna stop playing. Yeah.
I mean that's what happened with me in 2. I did I played multiple playthroughs. And it was just easy to do. Like at one point it was just like, almost like a Destiny or something. You just come in and chill with your friends. I'm not sure how long this campaign is. It'll be pretty interesting to see how long it goes. I feel hopefully it's not like a long one. Hopefully it's a, more akin to like 1, maybe a 2. I can't say 1 because I don't know how long 1 is. So 2.
I feel like 1's not that long. 2 is a bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely like the DLC for Tiny Tina, but expanded. And then I'm looking forward to playing more of it. So I stream this every Sunday on Twitch at, I want to say it's like 9 p.m. Pacific time, and it's like maybe 12 p.m. Japan Standard Time, somewhere around that time.
Sure. Okay.
Just tune in and you'll see it. Subscribe to the channel, get an alert, follow that thing.
Yeah.
Subscribing and following, completely different things. Sorry.
Yeah,
but if you want to spend,
subscribe.
Definitely subscribe. Definitely subscribe.
Like subscribe.
Well, I guess I've been trying to figure out good ways to take a break in the middle of the segments. Because I never cut the show into 2 segments anymore. It's always 1 segment.
Yeah.
But we'll just keep it going because why not? There's a break that would be inserted here. We inserted break. Break insert. Welcome back from the break, everybody.
The optimum break.
I miss those sound bites.
Yeah.
I
don't have.
Yeah,
I don't have that many actually. I haven't like made any recently, so just the old stuff still.
They never get old.
Yeah. It's a good one. I miss that.
Yeah. Where you at, man? Where's our star? Our guest star, the degenerate kid, who had a birthday recently. I guess we could say
really?
shout outs. Yeah, birthday on the I think the 29th of March. So it's already passed, but happy belated birthday to the DJing kid. Hopefully getting us some wrestling tickets one day to his performance.
He's gonna be a wrestler.
You know, we gotta believe, keep hope alive.
All right.
There we go. So moving into the main topic, I guess, of PlayStation Plus, we won't spend too much time on this because I mean, this is kind of old news at this point. But you know, the new subscription tier is, well, they detailed it, and on the 29th of March. Wow, was it really this old? It's really this old? It was that old.
It was like in the middle of a stream for me. Someone came in and was just like PlayStation Plus tiers. I'm like, oh, cool.
Right? Like, and this is the first time I've ever had to say, like, as a PC player.
You don't give a shit. Like, honestly, how much? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of shit do you give?
I give like a 1. Give a 1.
I actually I turned off my renewal for I renewed. I mean, I don't know if I told you this. Like, I forgot to turn it off, and then I got the email. It's like you made a purchase, and I was like, oh fuck, god damn it. So I have to go
leave
like
mine off by default, man.
Yeah, I turned my renewal off, and then they're like, PlayStation Plus has new. I'm like, whatever. Like,
I mean, the thing about it is, okay, so
well, let's go into the tiers. Let's go into like what they
tiers,
are. Yeah,
what they are. So I mean, you now have 3 different tiers of PlayStation Plus. The first tier is essentially what you have now, and it's called PlayStation Plus Essential. Just exactly what you have now: 2 monthly game downloads, exclusive discounts, cloud storage for save games,
and you can play online.
And you can play online. PC players laughing at y'all like, I can play online since I was a baby. Okay.
As long as you had an internet connection, but yeah.
Yeah. But that's gonna run you the same price as always. $9.99 monthly. Quarterly is going to be $24.99 and $60 yearly. So
did they always have a quarterly plan? I can't remember.
Yeah. Sometimes I've actually used the monthly plan. I've just paid $10 because I thought like, I'm just going to use it for like a month.
I was only aware of the monthly and the yearly. I actually didn't know they had a quarterly plan.
Yeah, they have a quarterly. I don't think you see it as much like featured, but it's there.
I had no idea. All right.
And then moving on is PlayStation Plus Extra. I love how it's PPE.
Plus extra. Plus extra.
Plus
so
extra.
Dumb.
Play Plus
so
Extra. So this is everything on the Essential tier. Plus, you're going to get up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from their PlayStation studios. So think God of War, Uncharted, Horizon, all those fun things. And third-party partners. Games in the Extra tier are downloadable for play.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so it's the same as normally what you would pay now, but you get a selection of games. It's up to 400. I don't think it's going to launch at 400. Right?
Yeah,
there's even an
up
asterisk there, so it's probably not even.
It's up to.
But
400.
these are downloadable. These are saved to the hard drive.
These are saved to the hard drive. With prices starting at $14.99 monthly, so that's a $5 increase, $39.99 quarterly, and $100 yearly.
Okay, yeah, and you can see for Japan it's 8,600, which is a bit pricey, but it works out exchange rate wise. Yeah,
yeah, and this is essentially their Game Pass.
That would be I would okay. So this is basically kind of what Game Pass is kind of right.
Yeah, kind of. This is as close as we're gonna get to their kind of
Game Pass.
Right. But they did confirm already that day one first party games are not going to be a part of this service. Like at this point.
Yeah. Sure. So they're like, oh, then the next God of War, for example, like won't be on. You're not going to get this for plus extra.
Plus
right,
extra.
Yeah. Okay.
Or the highest tier, PlayStation Plus Premium 3Ps,
PP, PlayStation PP,
Triple P, baby.
Yeah, PlayStation PP. Okay.
Which this includes all the benefits from that we talked about before, and adds an additional 340 games, which include PS3 streaming from the cloud.
So that's PlayStation Now, basically, yeah.
Right, PlayStation Now. Okay. You'll get that bundled in, plus a collection of beloved classic games, including both streaming and download options for PlayStation 1, PS2, and PSP generations.
Like, I see.
PSP is the weird. I did not expect. I think most people did not see them adding PSP.
I didn't see that coming either, to be honest. Yeah, I think that means what they have to do now is they basically need to put a PSP emulator onto a PS5. I'm guessing.
I assume so, because this one here is streaming and downloadable.
Yeah,
So
I
they
mean,
don't say
just
which one is which.
yeah.
And,
I think now if you subscribe to PlayStation Plus, there's a couple PS2 games that are downloadable. Actually, you can
oh
download
yeah,
to some. Yeah, I think those ones that are already downloadable are just going to stay
downloadable,
downloadable for
right?
this tier. Yeah, PSP though, that's a big question. Probably downloadable. I don't see why. I mean, it could be streaming maybe because they're like we don't want to make an emulator. Like just stream that shit. So
Just
that could
stream it.
be yeah, that could be it.
It
So
definitely could be. I mean,
yeah,
so offers. So and here's the biggest crux, which is offers the PlayStation Now basically for PS2, PSP, and what's this? PlayStation and PS4 games.
yep.
Okay, where PS Now is currently available. Plus, customers can stream games using PS4 and PS5 consoles and PC.
And PC with 3 asterisks.
With 3 asterisks. I'm gonna go down to these asterisks, bro. You're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. You also get time limited game trials, which will be also offered on this tier, so you can try select games before you buy them. I don't think people remember this.
I think is that a PlayStation Plus an old benefit from PlayStation Plus or?
That is a very beginning PlayStation Plus benefit.
Yeah, that was a benefit they had for Plus back in.
They were just called time demos then.
Right.
So they would let you play like an hour of a game, and it wasn't all demos. It was just like select demos. I mean, that's they just threw that in there. I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay, so what I'm seeing is going to be Plus is what we have now, basically. PE is like that plus extra games downloadable, and then PP is like that plus downloadable plus streaming. It looks like.
Right, PlayStation Now plus PS Plus, and they basically I think PS Now had like what 300, 400 plus titles.
They basically just rolled
600. They just rolled it in there.
Yeah, into the new price. So what's the price then? So what's PE? Sorry, PP.
So the PP is this is in USD, $17.99 monthly. So that's a $8 increase, I guess. $49.99 quarterly and $119.99 yearly.
Okay, and we're looking in yen here. It's 1,500 monthly, and basically 10,000 yen yearly.
And so here's what here's the caveat right here with all those the asterisks. In Japan, it's actually going to be Ichiman Nihakugo. I can't even goju in. I can't even read
Ichiman Nihaku Goju. Yeah.
Yeah. So
10,250 yen.
So that's a little bit cheaper. That's a little bit of a. I think it's cheaper. I can't tell. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Than the US
I mean,
one.
Sure. Okay.
But
I mean, comparing it to dollars, yeah.
But it's because some features aren't available. So PlayStation Plus Deluxe in select markets. For markets without cloud streaming, PlayStation Plus Deluxe will be offered at a lower price compared to Premium and includes a catalog of beloved classic games from the original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations to download and play, along with limited time trials, yes.
But this isn't for Japan. Japan gets PP proper, right?
So let's go all the way down. Let me just zoom in on this.
No, because Japan has PlayStation Now, I'm pretty sure.
So PlayStation Now is available in Japan.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, good.
PC streaming is not available in Japan.
Not available in Japan. So Japan has everything.
Launch. Yeah.
Oh, at launch.
At launch.
So Japan has everything, just not PC streaming, but is coming later. So it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the current markets where PS Now is available: U.S., Canada, Japan, U.K., France. I mean, it's pretty much most of Europe, Germany, Belgium.
Or their biggest markets, essentially.
Their biggest, biggest. Australia is not on this list, though. Not that
Australia is oddly missing. Austria is on the list, though.
Austria, Switzerland, Ireland, Spain, Italy, Portugal, Norway, Denmark, Finland, and Sweden. That's like, what, 12, 15 countries? I'm just looking and it's like 12.
I mean, it's a lot.
It's
it's their biggest market. It's their biggest market. So it's North America. Mexico's not on this list actually, but so it's most of North America.
Canada's not. Canada is on this list.
Yeah, that's the second country.
Canada's the second country.
So most of North America, several big countries in Europe, and Japan, but not Australia. So I would say it's just basically it's their biggest markets.
Their biggest markets.
They basically are covered in terms of where they want to make the most money, but
right.
Yeah. So the question is are any of these tiers actually worth it?
So I wish I had bought. Hold up, I might actually have to find this a little bit. There was if it's actually comparable to Game Pass.
So the middle tier, you mean?
for the middle tier and the top tier. So Game Pass Ultimate, which includes the cloud PC
Oh, EA.
and
Yeah.
with everything like that, is I think it's 120 a year or something like that.
Okay.
So it's like competitive, but I mean, like, for me personally, if I was gonna pay for one of them, I would pay for the PPE, not the essentials, but what the heck is that thing called?
The middle tier.
The middle tier, yeah. I tweeted I'd pay for the middle tier, which is kind of like a Game Pass thing because I can download the games.
Right.
I can play them. I don't have to worry about streaming.
Sure.
And I think for PS4 games that I don't have, if there's a bunch of them and I can just play them, sure. I think that's the best deal. But $100 a year though for it. And most of them I already have on PC. I already buy most of these games on sale.
For the newer games, you mean? Yeah.
For newer games, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of hard for me to really really take a dive into any of these tiers outside of what I already pay for normal PS Plus.
Right. Which is like how much you pay for Plus?
I
right?
pay
No,
yearly. It's the yearly one, yeah. But
Yeah,
now my friends are on Apex PC. And now we're on.
You can cancel. You can cancel your.
Yeah, Tiny
your
Tina's
membership
on PC, man. What am I playing on PS4 right now?
Yeah, actually, I haven't touched my console in a long time, and even when I was playing on console, I was playing single player RPGs. So there's really no reason for me to even like pay for multiplayer, right?
Right.
So I'm like, I'm gonna cancel. Like, I'm not getting my money's worth here.
No, I mean, for you though, because you're more into retro games than I am.
Yeah.
And I say retro. I mean, we're talking PS. I mean, at this point, PS2 games are retro games. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Okay. So I would subscribe to the middle or even the third tier, if the catalog is gonna be impressive, which I don't think it is. I mean, I would love to be.
We don't know.
Surprised.
That's
we don't know what
issue.
the game is gonna be on the game, but like on the list. But no, I mean, like there's a very huge selection of JRPGs on the PS2. Some are super niche, like they were made by like a company and then like never got a sequel. Well, there's Dark Cloud 1 and 2. Level 5 still exists as a company, but they're just making
I wonder if
Watch.
White Knight Chronicles is on there.
And possibly, yeah. So there's a ton of good games on PS2 and PlayStation, and now that PSP's on there as well, that's I mean, there's some good PSP games, right? But
yeah, there's good PSP games. I mean, some of them have been remade. I think some of the better ones.
Core comes to mind, honestly, for PSP. I don't know if they're gonna be able to put Crisis Core on that service because it's not even up on the for purchase, like on the PlayStation portable store. Or you can't even buy it. Yeah. No. So
I mean, and plus, you can talk about Metal Gear 3, not 3, but Peace Walker
4. Yeah, Peace Walker. Yeah,
Peace Walker.
That's fair. Also,
Metal Gear
MGS4 and MGS4. Yeah,
exactly. Both of those are just like they're locked on those consoles.
Right. So if the library is worth it, then sure, I could see myself conceivably paying quarterly, like maybe for 1 to 2 quarters, for me to just bang out. Like, I'm gonna play MGS4. I'm gonna play Peace Walker. I'm gonna play through Crisis Core and Star Ocean
2. I think it's 2, right? Yeah.
On PSP. Well, no, there's already a PS4 version of Star Ocean 2, so that's kind of moot, honestly.
Some of these games have already been remade, like some of the ones that we really want. I mean, so it is that kind of deal where you're just like, honestly, I still think they should have bundled, like, tier 2 and tier 3 should have just been one tier.
And the price would have been adjusted. You mean so there's only 2 tiers, you mean?
So there's only 2 tiers. There's normal and then there's whatever the new tier is.
I feel like what would have made that, like, maybe if there's only 2 tiers, they could have priced the 2 tier, like the second tier, the good tier, at the premium price, which is like $20 a month essentially. But to make to maybe not make people so mad is to like reduce the price of essential.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like if you are paying $10 a month now for PlayStation Plus, they reduce it to $5-7, and then they can do the jump up to premium at the current price of $20 or whatever. So if you don't want to pay for those extra games, that's totally cool. You actually save money. Look, like you have the exact same service that you did previously, but now you're just like saving money, so you're happy that way.
Right.
But if you want to, I don't know, maybe it would go poorly. I don't know. Maybe people will get mad. They're like,
I
oh,
don't
it's so
know. I
much
mean,
money. I don't know. I don't know.
because I mean, like the thing for me is that I think a lot of people, and I saw some of my close friends talking about this. You know, they were kind of disappointed because I think a lot of people were looking forward to playing the classics. Like that's the appeal of this entire thing, is being able to play the older games that are available, right?
Yeah, I mentioned this so many times, but like if they added backwards compatibility to a PS5, I would buy one like as soon as possible.
As you got locked off on a PS3, best. I was listening to a streamer, was like, that's the best console. If you have a launch PS3 or that launch window, that's the best console ever. Period. You have literally every
PS1, 2, 3, yeah.
1, 2, and 3 game you
Yep.
want there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I took advantage of that. I played so many PS2 games, and it had an upscaler on it and everything.
It did,
great.
yeah.
It's
If you're a
top tier.
streamer, yeah, if you're a streamer and you want to play PS2 games, the easiest way to do it is to find yourself a launch PS3.
It's so good. I mean, so
Yeah.
good. Outside of its size and bulk and stature.
So it's so fucking
heat.
big and so loud. Yeah, it's a chonker, dude.
That jet engine does not
It's a jet
stop.
engine for sure.
It does
Yeah,
not stop.
It's so loud.
So I mean, that's essentially the service, and I don't think Sony is going 100% into it in terms of like, I think it's not meant to be a Game Pass 1-to-1 competitor.
I think, yeah, they mentioned that before. I think what's interesting is the fact that they're not putting new games day and date on even their premium tier. Did they say why? I think they did say why. Like something about it will devalue the game or something. I don't know. Like,
Yes, I can look that up really quickly.
like
Just,
why?
I don't want to
why-
misquote.
Yeah, I don't know misquote it either, but like Microsoft is obviously doing that. Halo Infinite, boom, day and date. All their first party games are just like, you don't need to buy these games at launch. You have them. Like you can play all our good games right now. You just subscribe to Game Pass. So, but Sony's just like, no, we're not doing that. Like pay for them.
So Jim Ryan, which is the PlayStation CEO, actually explained this, and I mean, and it makes sense. So one, there's a couple of different factors, and this is just from our side, just kind of noting, without even reading it. PlayStation has they have darn good exclusives every time they come out. Freaking Horizon over here selling 20 million over the course of its lifetime, putting up great numbers. I mean, they have a lot of games that just do really well. When they resell them, even when they put them on PC. I mean, it's just, you know, it's a cycle right there. They have quality. That's just top quality, right? But they say this, and this sounds really funny when they say it though. We feel like we are in a good virtuous cycle with the studios, where the investment delivers success, which enables yet more investment, which delivers yet more success. We like that cycle, and we think our games like that cycle. Or our gamers, sorry, like that cycle.
I think what he's trying to say here is we like getting money when you buy the games.
Yes, it's essentially the same thing as a movie almost, and
yeah, like the
games
first 2 weeks are critical for a movie,
are
right?
critical for movies, right?
Yeah.
And in the same sense for games too, where Sony's games, I mean, Microsoft's games cost a lot of money too. Don't get me wrong. But Sony's putting like stupid bank into it, and what they hope is that when you buy their game, that return goes into making the next game, and that obviously they don't make it any smaller, so it's either the same or bigger, right? So that's what he's kind of saying. It's like we feel like essentially, if we were to offer these games for it's not free because you're paying the subscription, and I don't know how much.
Yeah,
I don't know the math.
Yeah,
I don't know the math.
They must have crunched the numbers and assumed that like if all our PlayStation Plus members, let's say 50%, or I don't know, but like they're whatever their estimation are, let's say 50% of all current PlayStation Plus members are going to upgrade to this new tier.
Mm-hmm.
If and we expect like 10% or something increase of, well, maybe they're expecting new users or something like that. If they had this many users on the service and this game comes out, would the profits from the service like outweigh the profits of just people buying it? And they obviously came up with no. So
with no, I mean,
yeah,
I mean Disney. I don't know. It's really interesting to see like. So how does Microsoft do it, or do they
I think
just?
I mean, obviously, I
Is
could
there
be
a,
wrong. Yeah, I don't work at Microsoft, but I assume, honestly, I think they're taking a loss. Like, I think they're losing money on it. I think they're
which
seeing it as an investment. They must see it as an investment. They're like, yes, we're not going to make this much money on Halo Infinite because X amount of people are playing it for quote unquote free.
right.
But like our projections in 10 years prove that this is the way to go.
I mean, I assume because that's the thing. Like, if that's the case, then, and it was a worry for a lot of people. Like, how do they make money on Game Pass? How do the studios make money on Game Pass if you aren't a first party studio, right? Because I assume that there might be some type of feeling to if you're working at one of these studios and you put out a game and it's like we have the number of how many people played it, right? But we don't know how many people would have played it without Game Pass. Because I've
Yeah.
heard people say like, I'll grab it on Game Pass. I'll grab it when it's on Game Pass, as opposed to like I'll buy it when it's on sale, or it's a Game Pass game.
Yeah, I think there's two ways to look at it. Like, I feel like it could devalue your game because people would be like, "Oh, I'll wait for it to come on Game Pass," or it's like, "Oh, like I thought about buying it, but then like now I'll just like maybe not, buy it at launch or whatever." And then in a sense that could devalue your game because it could like relegate it to like just a Game Pass game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But also, you're also pulling in a new audience because you're pulling in the people that like normally would not have played it. They're like, oh, maybe I'll check it out, and
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, this is really fun. Like maybe I'll buy the game so I can get DLC for it, or like I'll buy it so when it leaves Game Pass, that'll lose my progress or that kind of thing.
Exactly. But I mean, there was one good thing that came out of this for anyone who might have taken that like, oh man, Sony didn't want that money. They don't get us. They don't want it. So they did. Jim did say like that's not to say that it couldn't happen in the future in regards to first party games coming to the service day one or at any time kind of thing, or day one I guess mainly, because he points to the success of PlayStation Studio games releasing on PC. They've had great success with that, and he said that 4 years ago they never would have thought about releasing a game on PC. That wasn't.
Yeah, of course not. No.
No. Goodness.
No. Yeah.
PC, what is that?
2018. Yeah, they were on top of the world with the PS4. So.
Yeah. So I mean, like, at least it shows that hey, they're open to changing not just this part of the service, but the service in general. Like, things change very quickly in the industry. So right now, that's how their publishing model is going to work, but could change down the line. So I think that's at least nice to note. They're keeping a little bit of openness to it. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think money will drive a lot of their decisions. If they can see that, yeah, they'll make money from it, then they'll do it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't know. I think, yeah, personally, like I would definitely jump on the service for a quarter or two if they were just like, here, all the PS2 games, we did it. Magicians, we fucking every PS2 game.
Done.
Yeah,
Done.
for sure. Yeah, I definitely.
I'll take my Xenosaga again.
Oh yeah, for sure. Xenosaga, Katamari Damacy, like we looked Katamari, the second one that didn't get a remaster. All those games, dude. Like just all those games.
So much childhood in there. I mean, not childhood, but I mean, just like I guess like that time of my life.
I would love to play Xenosaga again. I mean, I've been thinking about it recently. I should just play it on an emulator. Like I should just emulate it. Like I just play it.
I mean, you have it, so
I do. Yeah, I
you have the actual copy.
Actually, and I know I never downloaded a ROM. I ripped it. Like I own Xenosaga, so I just like ripped my own copy of Xenosaga. So like, yeah.
But speaking of remakes, remasters, and bringing old classics back, this week, Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition is coming out to Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch,
and PC.
Yeah. So everything you can try to get it on. I'm typing it in now, but I think it's April 7th. So by the time this podcast goes up, you should be able to play the game. And it's got a lot of new features, nice little quality of life changes that we've come to notice with a lot of these Square Enix games that have been remade, or not remade, but just updated. So upgraded models and fonts. You've got character redesigns and new artwork by the original character designer. You've got newly refined music from the god tier man himself,
Yeah.
Mr. Masuda. I don't know if I said that correctly, but Yasunori Mitsuda.
Mitsuda.
Which I'm telling you, I looked on his blog. I don't know why, but he was making something. He was saying something about One Piece, and that is how I ran into Bump of Chicken. That is how I know of Bump of Chicken.
Oh, you didn't.
No,
you would.
This is
you
back
would
in
have
the
probably
US.
eventually found Bumba Chicken from other stuff, right?
I guess, but they didn't.
Eventually, like they did the Miku song a couple years ago. Like they did.
I mean, eventually, yeah. Especially living in Japan, of course.
Yeah.
Had to have. But yeah, Sailing Day. Anyways, so you can definitely there's gonna be new tracks, newly refined tracks in there, and then you can switch between. This is kind of cool though. You can switch between the updated 3D models, fonts, illustrations, and filtered backgrounds.
Or you can just go straight fucking PS1 version. Yeah.
If you're a purist, they say. But just know that you have to toggle these together. Like it's all or nothing option. And then you've got battle enhancements, which you've seen from the other games, auto battle, etc., etc.
I love the screenshot, by the way, that you're scrolling on. It's just like Guile. My name is Guile.
Oh yeah, it's Guile. My name is Guile. You know, but
okay.
You know, like the whole thing about the text though is actually a big deal because in all of the pixel remasters, people be hating on them text.
Oh, the font, you mean?
The font, yeah, the
Yeah.
font. Sorry, not the text, but the font text font. There, the text.
It looked like shit in the Legend of Mana remaster, but then they patched in the old font like later.
They had, yeah, right. So it's one of those things
Same thing with
where
Chrono Trigger on mobile and PC looked like garbage, like a normal font, and then they patched in like a more retro looking font. They did that eventually. So.
I mean, I'm glad at least this one's like here. If you just want to go all the way back, you can go all the way back. Maybe that's better than nothing. You know, I know PC at least will be able to just do what it wants, but
well,
maybe.
I mean, the good thing about being on PC is there's a higher chance of being able to mod the game. So
yeah.
If you were so picky about how the game looked or played it or anything, you can wait for someone to mod it, I guess. But
yeah. And then I know we talked about this last time, but the biggest addition is the Radical Dreamers the visual novel.
Well, I wouldn't.
Adventure?
It's a text adventure.
Adventure.
Very little visuals, honestly. Yeah.
The text adventure, which didn't come out in the U.S. at all, released in 1996 for the Satellivision.
Yeah.
Satellaview. Goodness gracious, a peripheral for the Super Famicom. Shout out to Square Enix blog for writing this. They did a good job.
Do you know what the Satellaview is?
No, I don't even know what that thing is. It's a peripheral for the Super Famicom. I didn't even realize it had a peripheral like that.
Yeah, so the Satellaview was a service. I think it was paid, obviously. I mean, I think it was paid. I'm not sure. But it was an add-on for the Super Famicom that allowed you to download games every month. And so part of it, I think one of the games were like a Legend of Zelda like short game, something for Mario Paint, and that kind of thing. But for Radical Dreamers, it was a brand new text adventure game that I don't know if it was episodic, but in any case, it was just distributed over Satellaview. Mm-hmm. And it was meant to be, at the time, like kind of a sequel to Chrono Trigger. And then that was it. Like, it disappeared. So like, once the service ended, all those games more or less kind of disappeared into the ether. They were just gone, right?
Right.
So obviously the Satellaview never left Japan. It was a Japan-only add-on for the Super Famicom. And Chrono Cross, in part, is kind of based off Radical Dreamers. So Radical Dreamers is no longer canon, I believe. The events of Radical Dreamers just are just within that game. But the basis of Radical Dreamers was later reused for multiple parts of Chrono Cross.
Like a plot kind of thing.
Like a what?
Not plot, but what? Like I don't know what I want to say. Like a basis almost for Chrono Cross, essentially.
Chrono Cross, yeah. So Chrono Cross. Okay. So Chrono Cross is the real sequel. Chrono Cross is actually the sequel to Chrono Trigger.
Is the actual sequel, right?
Radical Dreamers, I think, was supposed to be the sequel to Chrono Trigger, but then became not the sequel once Chrono Cross came out.
Okay, and then the canon, they just nuked it out. Like
it is like reused. They just reused a bunch of key points from Radical Dreamers for Chrono. So I think the Frozen Flame is in Radical Dreamers. some of the party members in Radical Dreamers, their concepts, the character concepts were later reused for characters in Chrono Cross. They're not the same character, but like,
Just
um,
conceptual-wise. Or
yeah,
maybe like
reused
some
for
of the aspects of them.
yeah. So Radical Dreamers, I think, just as a fan of the series, is something that would interest you because you're like, this is a very important part of the history for this series. But if you were brand new to Chrono Cross, if you're like, I heard this game is good, I'm gonna get it. Like, I don't honestly think you're gonna enjoy Radical Dream. I really don't think you're gonna enjoy. It's a text adventure, honestly.
It's a text adventure. I mean, most people probably don't know what a text adventure is. I'm over here calling it a visual novel for some reason.
Yeah,
It's like,
I don't think you're gonna have fun with it. But if you truly care about the series and you're like, I want to see where Chrono Cross came from, then it's pretty cool. Also, yeah, the Satellaview is a weird thing that not everyone knows about. Just the fact that Nintendo had a literal downloadable service in the mid 1990s is pretty cool. So
it's pretty cool. I mean, it took, Sony had theirs on PS2, and even that wasn't downloadable service. That was just online gaming. Same with Xbox. I don't think you could buy games or download
the
games
Sega Genesis. The Sega Genesis had a modem. Honestly, the Sega Genesis had a modem add-on in Japan. Yeah, it had like 2 games, like 2 compatible games, but
bro, I didn't even know what a modem was until 2000 or something.
Until you were on the internet, yeah.
I was on the internet. I was like, oh, this is a modem. This is the modem.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool that they're just adding this in for the fans. It truly is, I think, for the fans, because like,
no,
I can't imagine putting the effort into translating text
to localizing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Call up to the department. Hey guys, we got a great project for you today. What are we doing? Radical Dreamers.
This text adventure, from 30 years ago or something. So
yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. We hope a lot of you enjoyed the show. We hope you also enjoyed us on Twitter Spaces. I know I saw some people pop in across the time. So I was checking in and out, just seeing how it was going. So it's nice to see it's reaching a little bit of people. But we'll try to figure this out next week, or if just doing it streaming might be the better, like on Twitter streaming. I don't know what it's called. I don't think, because Periscope is gone. It's just like Twitter Live or something.
But yeah, I just fucking
literally,
Twitter.
It's called Twitter
absorbs
Live.
Everything. Periscope and then Vine. What happened to Vine? Did Vine get absorbed, or did Vine just want to go out of business?
Wait, didn't somebody get Vine? I mean, Vine's gone, but didn't.
Who absorbed Vine?
Was it ever absorbed and then just died, or was it just died?
Or did Vine just die?
I feel like Vine just died for some reason, but
no one bought Vine.
Someone had to have bought it, right? It didn't die to anything.
I don't even know why we're looking this up right now.
Was Vine with Tumblr?
No,
Tumblr's...
Twitter absorbed Vine.
How did they not do TikTok like stuff with Vine before? I mean,
yeah, Twitter acquired it, and then it died in 2017.
Wow.
No, 2000. Hold on. On October 27, 2016, Twitter announced that it would disable all uploads, but you could still download stuff. And on 2017, it's fucking done. Officially discontinued 2019. There you go. Only, quote unquote, only 3 years ago.
Only 3 years ago. Well, E3 is also quote quote done for this year. So.
But it'll come back stronger than ever next year, like a phoenix.
That's what they say. That's what they promise. But until then, who's got us covered? Papa Jeff. I
can't believe Twitter absorbed Periscope and Vine and killed both.
They killed both of them. Yes, like literally, it's like because they kept their live service, but now what's the point? What's the point of spending money?
Absorbing the powers of.
Freaking Infinity Stones, man. They're just gathering the stones and then just crushing them instead of using them to do better.
I think they're just like, what a good idea, we want it, and then they're just like, well, I don't know what to do with it anymore.
I mean, it was never integrated. Like Vine was never integrated into Twitter, I don't think. And then, I mean, Periscope was, but it was on the back end. I've never seen you never noticed Twitter Live. Like Periscope
that's
stuff.
And
true.
I feel like it really could have been something. I think at the time it was meant to compete with like Justin TV, which later became Twitch, but like nobody used it. And now I think Instagram Live has taken the place of Periscope.
Has taken it, yeah. And you can still stream live on Twitter, but You don't ever. There's no like. How do you find it? I've only seen it randomly pop up.
I think it's for
like
your
live
followers.
streams.
I think it's for your. It's not like Twitch or YouTube where it's like, what are the hottest live streams right now? I think it's more just like, hey guys, what's up? I'm live. Come hang out. I think it's more like that.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, definitely go ahead. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at UGP_cast, and then check us out on YouTube at Unknown Games Podcast. And finally, check us both out on Twitch. Myself at NinjaTrix, NinjaTrix, and my co-host Alex at Route24, ROUTE 24. The numerals, don't spell those out.
I'm gonna fucking change my yeah.
Every
so
time, because every time I say it, it's like 24. I don't
what
want
is
people
it, like
spelling 24 out though.
ROUTETWOFOURDONTSPELLITOUT.
Don't spell it out. Route 24. Don't spell it out.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say in closing?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Have a good life. It's April. It's quarter of the year's done. Jesus.
Freaking cold today, man.
It is cold.
Weather.
Yeah, I feel so bad for the cherry blossoms because they started to. So I have a bunch of cherry trees.
Did you see them?
Yeah, so I have a bunch of cherry sakura trees. Are there cherry trees technically? But anyway, sakura.
Yeah, there's
sakura
cherry trees. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have sakura trees like pretty close to my apartment, like where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been raining for the last like 2 days, and it's fucking all this petals on the ground everywhere. So it's
people be getting all hype about, oh, let's go look at the cherry blossoms. I'm sorry, I really don't like them because they're so selfish. Every year in Tokyo, maybe other places it's better, but almost every year it's raining, it's cloudy, and they're only here for like a week and a half maybe.
Yeah, I think honestly by the time the weather gets better, they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah.
I saw mine on Friday, but it was gray skies. I just had to accept it's going to be gray today.
Did you go to a park? Did you like, or did you like, what did you do?
Oh, I went to a park.
I haven't done Hanami in years. I haven't done Hanami in years and years and years and years because I'm like, it's always like, I don't really want to go out into Tokyo, or I don't really want to just go out, or the weather's shit, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No,
like one time I went to Ueno. It was it was a Ueno Park actually. Oh no, it wasn't. It was a Yoyogi Park.
Oh, that was a nice one.
It was so crowded, dude. It was just
it's
so many
crowded.
people. It was so many people. It's like sheets next to each other. I was basically hanging out with like 4 other groups of people because we were so close together.
It's the glorified picnic. You have to go.
Yeah, it's a picnic. It's
like
absolutely picnic. Yeah.
6 a.m. or something. Or
grab your spot.
Gosh, I don't know.
Anyways,
it's just an excuse for a picnic.
Yeah, to get drunk in a park, basically.
Oh, well. Anyways, we'll catch you all next week for episode number 127 of the Unknown Games Podcast, where we count down from 7 back to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But will we reach 0? That's up to you.
We die. We kill ourselves, yeah.
Good. That you've done that at least twice. So, I mean,
yep.
Not treading any new ground there.
Sweet.
All right. All right, everybody. We'll catch you later.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.